What's going on, everyone? So we finally got our deeper look at Star Wars Outlaws. I do have to say it looks very promising, with the caveat that Ubisoft is kind of notorious for these things looking really good in their showcases and then, on launch not really delivering all the features that were promised. But we're going to stay positive. I want to break down some of the important things I saw that caught my eye. There was also a video afterwards with the game director and creative director, and they kind of broke down the gameplay. So I don't want to do that, but I am thinking of doing a kind of 5 things we learned video, so be on the lookout for that. But in this video, I'm just going to point out a few of the things that caught my eye, talk about them, and let's discuss. Right, so right off the bat, we're seeing kind of your typical Ubisoft gameplay elements, the stealth, the takedowns. Keep in mind this is made by Massive, who did the Division series. So I do think in this little snippet of gameplay, you do see those elements coming out, especially right here when she commands Nyx, and she has a couple different options. She can use him as a distraction, she can have him attack, she can have him operate the crane lift. You definitely see those kind of Division elements. If you've played the game, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about here. Now, being Ubisoft, I'm not expecting, a ton from the NPC AI, but we'll see how it ends up turning out. Whether it'll be something closer to, Hogwarts Legacy, where you could kind of walk right around the AI, or if it'll be something a little more complex. So here she hops on her speeder. We saw her on the speeder in the trailer. I didn't know how much that would be in the actual game, but we see here that's your method of transportation, at least on this planet. You hop on your speeder and you just go. And the speeder in Jedi Survivor was pretty clunky, and it was pretty clear that wasn't a main part of traversal in the game. This looks pretty good. You see she's still running from the pikes. I am curious if you manage to stealth out of that place, I guess we'll just call it. One, will they still chase you? And two, what we'll see in a second with the reputation, will that still go down if you manage to stealth without getting detected? So this here is, you see the Pike Syndicate reputation went down. So there's going to be a reputation system. I assume with all the major syndicates, it seems like we're definitely getting the Pikes, we're definitely getting the Hutts, and they're kind of like others. So I wonder if there'll be Imperial. I wonder if we'll get the other syndicates involved. But there's going to be a reputation system, and like I was saying, I'm just curious, if you manage to stealth that mission, does your reputation still go down? I also thought what was interesting is you see NPCs coming and going in the city. It's kind of just a little subtle touch, but it definitely is a nice touch to just make things feel more alive. Even as she parks her bike here, one kind of flies right in front of her. Again, it's kind of one of those things. Will it look like this in the final product? We don't know yet, but I do have some optimism, more than usual, because it's going to be a current gen exclusive and PC as well, obviously. So we don't have to worry about it being held back by last gen. Next, we're going to skip ahead to what I thought was the next interesting part, which was the choice system. This game is open world, it has choice system. The choices apparently do have consequences. It'll affect your reputation. It'll affect your, which story, as you'll see here, which story you see. So it's not just, pick one, pick the other, and still end up getting chased type of situation. I believe, at least from the way they made it seem. Now you see there, she had the option to bribe or not bribe, and it does make me curious. So if you bribe her, will you just be able to go with no problem and no chase scene? That's certainly what they're, insinuating. I guess we'll have to wait and see till we get actual hands-on with the game. Lastly, there were 2 things that caught my eye. One was the wanted system, which I'll definitely go into more in what we learned in a different video. So that existing in itself is definitely something to take note of. And then after that, when she flies off into space, that was a sequence that really made me think like, oh, if this is going to be part of the game and this, functions as it seems, this could be really fun, and this could be a game changer, because this sets it apart from almost any other Star Wars game that we've had to this point. I mean, it's certainly any modern game that we've had to this point flying out is always a cutscene. It's, it's a loading screen. But here they're going for a seamless kind of feel where you go from planet into space all in one sequence. And if it, performs how it's supposed to and how it's portrayed in this first gameplay footage, it's definitely something that I think could help elevate this game, because that's something we haven't seen at least in a little while. But to me, this was the main part of the gameplay footage that we saw that I was like, oh, this could be really fun. Apparently there's going to be dogfighting, there's also going to be bigger ship sequences, and there's also going to be exploration in space as well. So those were just the few main things that stuck out to me in the trailer. I didn't want to do a full trailer breakdown because, like I said, the game directors have done that, and I'll make another video posting kind of everything we learned from that discussion. But what do you guys think? Are you impressed by what you saw? If you're a Star Wars fan, is this game now on your radar? Personally, I had the game from the makers of Detroit Become Human was the game I was kind of most looking forward to, but we've kind of gone radio silent on that game. And from just this gameplay footage, again, cautiously optimistic, take everything with a grain of salt. We still have 2024, it could come out holiday 2024 for all we know, assuming there's no delays. But I'm excited about the potential of what this game could be. Leave a like if you liked the video, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.